Hello there and welcome to SME On Point. My name is Liabo Setho. The COVID-19 pandemic and most recently the sluggish and weak economy are denting the once promising tattoo industry. Many have had to close shop and possibly go solo as the cost of keeping a studio operational bites. But this Women's Month, Janae Robson, who owns a tattoo studio in Johannesburg, is keeping her doors open. Difficult as it is, with the hopes of helping women experience the liberation that comes from their first or maybe fourth tattoo. Rumble and Hum is our featured Business of the Week on SME On Point today. And through it, we get a better understanding of the tattoo industry. What Janae Robson remembers best about her life in corporate is that she was a misfit. A conversation with her tattoo artist at the time ended with her signature on the dotted line. That tattoo business now belongs to her.
I felt like it was a moment in my life where like the stars and the planets and the moon aligned, and it was like, maybe this is my purpose, maybe this is something I need to do, because I don't know, I suppose as educated as I am and as much as I was in corporate and doing the financial accounting stuff, and I was good at it, I never fitted in. I mean, 11 months and I was in another job because something would happen in corporate that I was just like, no.
Robson says she was not as outgoing and confident as she is today. She says tattooing enabled her to express herself and the love of body art was sparked. And through the different stages of life, ink provided comfort. Today, she gives women who are ready to come out of their shell an experience she knows emboldened her.
I really see a lot of women coming out of their shells, and you know what my favorite is always, it starts with the very small, dainty, feminine thing, because that's also, we're told as women, we can only have small, beautiful, dainty things, which is absolutely not the truth. But I've seen it also in the female clients that we get. It always starts with the very small, dainty things, and then you can see the bravery evolving, because like, I really love this experience, or I really love this thing, like I want to go bigger, I want to go bolder, I want to go brighter, I want to, like now I really want to start showing it, and yes, I 100% see it in the ladies.
According to Fortune Business Insights, the global tattoo market is projected to grow from $2 billion this year to $3.93 billion by 2030. Changing attitudes towards tattoos, particularly in South Africa, have also contributed to the industry's growth. Now, tattoos are seen as a form of self-expression and art, and they're increasingly accepted in mainstream society. However, the weak economy is presenting fresh challenges that may swallow the industry if the situation doesn't improve.
There are a few very good senior artists that are now starting to go private. So because of the economy, it's kind of driving better artists to kind of go underground. And when I say go underground, I mean get one room places. You'll find one single room like this with 2 or 3 beds in it, and it's in a little tucked away hidey hole somewhere because the rent is cheap, and it's just easy to be solo to get my supplies to pay as little rent as possible. That steals away from, I believe, the essence of tattooing. Because if I think of the essence of tattooing, if you talk to people, especially from back in the day, tattooing was the shop, and it was the people in the shop, and it was the vibe of the shop, and it was the environment in the shop.
Robson concedes that the decreased disposable income of customers are also posing a threat, as getting a tattoo is deemed a luxury.
As much as we love our industry, and it is an amazing industry, and it is 100% worth it to get yourself, to make yourself feel good, it's a luxury item at the end of the day. And I think as a consequence of COVID, yet again, people are now realizing the importance of having savings, of having access to credit, of having money, having or not having money for luxuries. Like, we've become a lot more frugal in terms of spending. Like, these are more important. It is more important for me to maybe buy the groceries or keep money aside for this emergency or pay the credit card, instead of now being able also to just come in and like, hey, this is something that I love and I want and it makes me feel good. Let's do it.
Challenges aside, Robson says tattoos are empowering, and she has dared women to give them a try if they're so inclined.
Tattooing is one of those things, like it is the most liberating thing to just not listen to what everybody else has to say, and like for yourself. And it doesn't matter. You come and do it and experience it for yourself, and then decide whether you like it or not.
Liabo Setho, SABC News, Johannesburg. Thank you so much to Rumble and Ham, the tattoo studio, for sharing their story with SME On Point. We are on Facebook. Our handle is at SME On Point. If you also have a tattoo studio, please do hit us up. We'd like to know more about it. If you're a woman in the sector, we'd love to hear about your experiences as well. What makes you tick? What's not working out for you? And how the sector can get on its feet once again. To this now, investing in the property sector is encouraged. More women are building their portfolios and also thriving in it. One of the obvious ways, obviously, when starting out is renting out a property as a landlord. However, the current economic conditions may deter some from starting a business because of various problems that may arise. We have invited an award-winning author and expert in property investment to help us identify some of the ways that we can participate in investing in property. Sylvia Kogetso-Milosevic joins us via Zoom on SME On Point. Thank you, and I see it is a pink day for both of us. Welcome to SME On Point. Please tell us some of the ways that one still can participate in a property investment besides the usual buying property and letting it out. I believe there are lots of different ways that women can participate in this space.
First of all, thank you for having me, Liabo. I appreciate it. And also, yes, definitely, even though we're facing difficult times right now with higher interest rates and, there still lies opportunities within the property sector. Yeah. So now some of the things that we are doing, some of the things that we encourage our clients, who we call our students to do on the ground now, it's to focus on markets where there's a lot of demand. So what we find is majority of people right now, particularly those who bought in properties in what I call the high-end market, are selling off right now. They're selling off because obviously the cost of fulfilling those properties, it's higher now. Bond repayments are higher. They're feeling the pinch of that. So a lot of people are selling off. But I always say, as long as there's a human being on earth, they'll always be looking for shelter. So people who are selling off, they're now looking to downgrade. So there is a lot of movement still in the market through what we call the entry-level market, your entry-level market, where the rentals are from, let's say, your 3,000 to your high 10,000. There's still lots of movement in the market. So what we do as successful property investors is during times like these, we study to see where the movements are going to. And what we found is strategies such as your focusing on communes, your multi-lets, where you're now catering to student accommodation, where you're now catering to offering accommodation to young professionals. So instead of buying one property and renting out to one family, you can take that same property into multiple rooms and rent by the rooms, but renting to 9 or 10 different people. But obviously, it's important to structure such opportunities in the legal way.
Yeah. Okay. But let's talk about the other issues when it comes to investing in property. The truth is that not everyone has the money to start out. Not everyone can qualify for the credit to do so. Would you encourage for someone to get into selling property, maybe being a property agent or a sales agent, or maybe working in an office company or property company and doing something else to learn the trade and maybe find opportunities in there?
I love that. I love what you just said, Liabo. I wouldn't necessarily, encourage people to say, go and become an estate agent, because that's a career. That's not investing in property. Right. That's still making property, but from a form of, profession of selling off property. But what I would advise, our listeners, particularly women, because we're celebrating Women's Month, would be, let's firstly learn these things. Investing in property, you don't even need to have money to get started investing in property at all, but you do need to have the acumen, you do need to have the knowledge. There are lots of strategies we can tap into in a form of, when you have the knowledge, when you know how to find opportunities in the right market, when you know how to package opportunities that can offer, profits, that can showcase after doing your due diligence that this opportunity can make passive income, can net cash flow at the end of the day. There are people you can tap into opportunities like this from a form of joint venture partnerships. You can also source off some of these opportunities where you can find these opportunities. You yourself are not able to finance them, but you have the education, you have the knowledge on how to structure opportunities such as this. You're able to take that opportunity and package it and pass it over to investors, to people who do have the affordabilities with the bank, to people who have the cash. And by doing that, they're able to give you a sourcing fee. And that's how some of our clients, who are unemployed, who are blacklisted, who are not able to access cash through the funding institutions are able to do. And there's many other ways. There's your back-to-back. There's lots of opportunities on how we can tap into investing in property and making money. It requires us to get the right education.
Precisely. Sylvia, tell us a little bit about your book. It's also recently won an award, if I'm not mistaken. What are the learnings that are contained in that book? If someone does not have the resources to get an education, to invest in property, what kind of tips can I get from your book that can help me along?
Thank you for that. So the book, first of all, it's a South African-made book that's based on strategies that work in South Africa, how we finance deals in South Africa. Yeah. It's a practical book that I wrote it from the mistakes I've made and how to get it right in property investing. Within the book itself, I also bring in a lot of case studies from some of our clients and our students, the mistakes they've made, how they achieve success. And overall, it also touches on different strategies. Some of those I've just spoken about on how you can invest in property without using money. What are the different ways that we can tap into raising money without going into the bank? Also touching on about, I think I've got about 8 powerful strategies. Apart from just your typical buy-to-lets, there's many others you can tap into, into the market to make money, such as Airbnb, rent-to-rent, such strategies are working right now. They are lucrative. We're making money from them. And many other strategies I've put in the book. And the book is available in exclusive books across the country. Yes, and we did.
Fantastic.
For that as well. So thank you.
I hope that our viewers will be able to get themselves a copy if you are interested in the property space. I've been speaking to Sylvia Milosevic. She is a guru in the property sector. She's written a book about how you can participate and start your property portfolio. But before you do that, just remember to support small businesses in your community and keep those rands and cents circulating. More business news with Nompumelelo Siziba right after the break.